What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome to today's video. I have the new Chanel spring collection to share with y'all and I am really excited about it. But before we jump into that, I thought we could kind of chit chat for just a few minutes while I do the rest of my makeup. I will have timestamps down below, so if you want to skip ahead to the Chanel collection, that is perfectly fine. No harm, no foul. And I will also have all the products that I am using in today's video, as well as the Chanel collection, listed and linked down below in my description box per usual. All right, y'all, let's get this party started. So first off, I wanted to give a huge thank you for all of the kind words and well wishes that y'all sent my way. It was very sweet of y'all, and I love and appreciate every single one of you more than you could possibly know. And I am feeling a whole lot better. I just don't feel 100% at this point. So earlier this week, I had posted in my community section that I wasn't feeling well, probably due to getting the flu from my son who had it the week before. And all that week that he was sick, I really felt fine. I had a little bit of sinus pressure, a tiny headache, maybe a little bit of drainage in my throat, but other than that, I was fine. And I really thought it was just kind of my body adjusting to the weather changes because it had gone from hot to cold. The heat was coming on, the heat was going off. And if you live in a climate where the weather is like that, you know that you can really get kind of some sinus pressure and things like that. So that's kind of what I chalked it up to. I didn't feel nearly as bad as my son did. He had it pretty bad with the flu. He had all the symptoms, the fever, the sore throat, headache, chills, cough, sneezing, you name it, he had it. But Sunday was when things really kind of kicked in and I wasn't feeling very well. So I got up Sunday morning and did a bunch of things around the house, and I just felt kind of depleted about midday. I just felt crummy. I don't know any other way to explain it than I just felt crummy. And I thought maybe I just needed to rest a little bit. I had overdone it. So I just kind of took the rest of the day to chill out. I didn't really do anything. We ordered dinner. My kids did what they need to do. But other than that, I really did nothing. I read, I kind of got on YouTube and things like that. And honestly, I thought I was feeling better that night, but I woke up Monday morning and got up at 5:30 like we always did, make sure that my kids got out the door. And then normally I come in and I get some work done for the day, but I was just too tired to do so. So I just kind of laid down and took it easy, and I called the doctor and made an appointment, and I was able to get in to see her on Tuesday. And when I went in, we did all of the tests. We did COVID, flu, strep throat. Every single one of them came back negative. So she, kind of like me, just figures that I had the flu, just a very mild case of it, because there was really no other explanation for why I was feeling the way that I was feeling. But Wednesday came around and I got up again that morning with my kids, and I had intended to sit down and film, and instead I got back in bed just to lay down for a few minutes, and y'all, I slept until noon, and that is completely out of character for me. I am not the type of person to do that unless I'm not feeling well. So I was starting to get a little concerned because, you know, we figured I had already had the flu. I was on like the downside of things, and I just still felt exhausted, depleted. Every time I had a little bit of motivation to get up and do something, a couple minutes later, zero energy. It was just completely wiped out of me. So I ended up messaging my doctor on Thursday morning because I didn't feel any better, and she messaged me back and told me that it was probably flu fatigue. It's a common symptom and it just kind of hangs around. There's not really anything you can do about it. It can last a few days, it can last a few weeks, and you just basically have to kind of roll with it, but kind of listen to your body at the same time. So, you know, if you have the energy, do what you need to do. But if you're feeling exhausted, rest, take it easy, just listen to your body, because if you don't, you can 100% relapse and get the flu again. So at this point, I'm just kind of taking it day by day, and this is actually the first time all week that I have actually had enough energy to sit down and film a full-length video for y'all. I have tried so many times, and every time I get up with the intention to do it or think I'm going to do it, I just feel exhausted and it never happens. And that's why my Throwback Thursday video actually went up as a short, because I felt good enough to do my makeup. I just didn't have the energy to sit in front of a camera camera and chat with y'all and kind of give you a step-by-step, but at the same time, I wanted to do my makeup. I know I don't have to do content. I know I can take all the time I need. I know that y'all will be here, which is why I love and appreciate you, but I love doing this. I love playing with makeup. I love creating content for y'all. Makeup is just, it's my happy place. It's where I go to kind of relax and clear my head, and just, it's my me time. So I really wanted to film, so I figured shorts were going to be a little bit easier for me. So moving forward, I don't really know what content is going to look like on my channel. I could wake up tomorrow morning and feel completely fine, and this whole video could be completely irrelevant and there was really no point in it. But until then, I'm just gonna kind of roll with it. So I'm trying to figure out at this point what I am okay rolling into a short and what I absolutely want to do as a long form video. Luckily, at the beginning of the year, YouTube has extended the time that you can make a short from 1 minute to 3 minutes. So that would be super helpful, because that means I can put swatches in my shorts. That means I can do multiple looks, because it's a lot easier to squeeze that much content into 3 minutes than it is 60 seconds. So that's going to be super helpful. And honestly, I've got a lot of stuff I want to film with that I want to share with y'all. I still have the Shall We collection that came out in, I think, November. I even have the Cosmic Beauty holiday collection. So moving forward, we're just kind of playing it by ear, like I said. So if I feel up to filming a full video, I will 100% do it. There's probably going to be a lot of shorts because, like I said, they're going to be easier for me. But, you know, there may be some days that I just don't feel like doing anything at all. And it just kind of is where it is. There's nothing I can really do about it. So like I said, I'm just kind of taking it day by day as far as content goes, and even my upload schedule I feel like is going to look a little bit different. Normally I like to post my videos first thing in the morning because I like to pre-film. I am a huge pre-filmer. I like that I have a whole day to kind of film my video, edit it, get it up, and make sure I have all of my details in place. But since I'm not really feeling 100%, I feel like I'm just gonna kind of roll with it, and if I have enough time, I can go ahead and kind of get it uploaded in the same day. If I don't feel really good, I can just kind of have it up the next day for y'all. So it's gonna be pretty inconsistent, and like I said, I feel like there's just going to be a lot of shorts on my channel moving forward. But even with that in mind, I will always come back and give y'all my final thoughts, whether it be in a speed reviews video or a palette ranking video. So I'm not going to leave y'all hanging, and feel free to ask questions and comments if you have any, because I am going to continue to, you know, do everything the way that I normally do it. I just don't know if I'm going to have all the energy that I would normally have to do my long form content. And I love long form content. I would never see myself going towards being a short form channel. It's just not who I am. I love talking through things. I love explaining things to y'all, doing tutorials, and just chatting about makeup. Like I said, it makes me happy, and it's my passion, and it's my hobby. So yeah, that is what has been going on with me and how I am feeling. And let me just say, it is exhausting being exhausted 24/7. There have been several nights at this point that I have had every intention of getting up in the morning and sitting down and filming a video for y'all. And the morning comes and I am just way too exhausted to do so. And then I think to myself, okay, we'll just take the day, rest a little bit, and maybe after dinner tonight, I can actually sit down and film a video. And next thing you know, it's time to go to bed and start it all over again because I was too exhausted to even do that. But at this point, like I said, we are just going to kind of roll with it. I really just wanted to give y'all an update. I didn't want to start posting a bunch of content that was different from what I am normally posting without keeping y'all in the loop as to what was going on with me. And you know what I just realized? I put on a glowy blush, and the Chanel Spring Collection has highlighters in it. Yep. Way to go me. Oh well, it is what it is, but we're gonna go ahead and jump into this spring collection because I am so excited about this. I have been dying to play with it since they sneak peeked it back in December, but I waited until we were on our way home for vacation to order it because I didn't want it to show up while I was gone. And then with all of the weather, there were delays in shipping and everything, and then I got sick. So we are going to do this. All right, y'all, so let's go ahead and dive into the Chanel Spring Summer 2025 collection. Now, I did not pick up every single piece that they released because this is a larger collection and I felt like I didn't need or would use every single product, but there is a face palette, 4 single shadows, 4 eyeliners, 6 cocoa balms, and 2 nail polishes. So I will pop up pictures of the other products that I did not pick up so you can see the full range of the collection, the different shades and things like that, in case you're interested in other products that I did not pick up. But let's go ahead and start with the palette. So up first we have the multi-use eyeshadow and highlighter palette. This retails for $88. It is one of their larger palettes, so this is a little bit bigger than what you would normally get in their regular line, and it does feel a little bit more weighty and luxurious in the hand, but this is absolutely beautiful. It is 4 stunning highlighter shades. It can also be used on the eye. You can kind of tap them all over to give a little extra sparkle, use them on the inner corner. There's even some beautiful one and dones in here depending on the look that you're going for in your skin tone, but I really like the shades that they included in here. I feel like we've got a good range of tones and it's going to be inclusive for all skin tones. But let's go ahead and swatch these shades out. So starting with this pink shade right here, this one is in the shade medium. So the top 2 are going to be medium, and then you're going to have light and you're going to have dark. So we're going to go ahead and start with our first swatch, and this does feel very smooth. This is a nice, really baked formula, and that is absolutely beautiful. It doesn't have a translucent base to it, but you're also not going to be swatching this on your face. You are going to be going in a little light-handed. So I do think it's going to work well for several skin tones, but let's move on to the one next to it. So this one looks like it has a little bit more of a gold base to it, and again, very smooth. This one actually felt a little bit smoother than that first one that I swatched out, but still nice and reflective. It's not going to be beaming or anything like that, but I do think this is going to give a really pretty glow to the cheek. Up next we have the shade Light, and this is like a really pretty, almost silvery champagne color, and that one is beautiful. I really like that shade as well. Again, nice and smooth, same baked formula. I'm sure they're all going to be the same across the board, but then the last one we have is going to be the one which is called Dark, and this is a really pretty gold highlighter shade, and we're gonna put this one right here because I did not space those out well enough, and that is that shade right there. So for me personally, that is going to be more of like a topper on my eye, a one and done shade, things like that. It might be even a little too dark for my inner corner, but I will continue to play around with this and let y'all know my final thoughts on all these products in a future speed reviews video. But let's go ahead and start playing with this one. So if you didn't watch the first little section of this video, I accidentally put a glowy blush all over my cheek, not even thinking about it. I was just kind of chit-chatting and just reached in, dipped into a blush and a highlighter and put on my cheeks, but we're gonna go ahead and do this anyway. So I think what I wanna do is I wanna put this one on my cheek over here as a highlighter, and then maybe the pink one over here as a little bit of a topper. You're not gonna get the full effect because I do already have that little bit of a glow, but you'll definitely be able to see if it enhances the glow or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the one on the bottom left, which is called Light, and I am just going to pop this right here on my cheek. Oh yeah, that definitely amplified, and that is beautiful. It is nice and smooth. It's not glittery, chunky, sparkly, or anything like that, and that definitely built up to be pretty blinding. I am really impressed with how reflective that is while still being smooth and flattering on the skin. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and dip my brush into this pink one right here, and we are going to apply this to my left cheekbone. So I'm just going to put that right over top what I already have on, and that is beautiful. Again, it is very smooth, very reflective. I don't feel like it's quite as blinding as this one over here, but it's still absolutely beautiful, and even being more of a medium tone highlighter, I can still pull it off on my fair skin. Up next, we have these single shadows that are included in this collection. Now, I did pick up 2 of them, and the other 2 I decided to skip out on. One of them is more of a matte neutral shade that I felt like I had a million times over in my collection, and the other one is a really pretty sort of peach satin shimmery shade that looked very similar to one of the shades in the palette, so I decided to skip out on that one as well. But I did pick up the green and the purple one. I am not even going to attempt to pronounce the names of them, so I will pop them up on the screen when I get to them, but these are the 2 two shades that I thought were absolutely beautiful. So let's go ahead and start with the green one, and this is what the shade looks like right here. So I have noticed that these peaches, purples, and greens are being very popular for the upcoming spring season, and I just thought they were absolutely beautiful. So this is the one that I picked up, and this is so stunning. It is very smooth when I swatched it out, and this is what the shade looks like on my hand. So it's not super opaque. It definitely has a little bit of a translucent base. It's definitely meant to be a little bit of a one and done, a little bit of an accent. These are not going to be nearly as punchy as what you are going to get from maybe some other high-end brands or even indie brands and things like that, but still absolutely beautiful. But let's dive into the other shade that I picked up, which is this beautiful kind of lavender purple shade right here, and I just couldn't resist. We know that I love a purple shadow, and I just thought this one was really pretty. It does have a little bit of like a pinky undertone to it, so it is going to be more on that lavender lilac-y side, but again, very beautiful, more on that sheer base side, going to be more of a topper, an accent, and things like that, but I just thought these were really pretty. Do I need either of these in my collection? No, but I was so curious as to the formula and what they were going to look like on the lid, how they were going to wear, and all of that. So let's go ahead and create an eye look real quick before we jump into the rest of the collection. Alright, so I went ahead and primed my eyes with my MAC paint pot in the shade Painterly, and I'm going to go ahead and start this look off with this little palette from Natasha Denona that she just came out with. This is the Mini Sculpt palette, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of start with this shade right here. This one is in the shade Light, and I'm just going to kind of pop this into my crease as a little transition shade just to kind of get this look going. I am going to go in with some of the shades in the face palette as well as the two little single shades, but I want to have a little matte shade in my crease. Now, you could use your bronzer, you could have picked up the other single shadow that was included in this collection, but I figured since I have this palette and my intention was to have it kind of be my perfect ultimate companion, that we would bust it out and use it today. So I'm just going to continue to build up a little bit of depth and definition in my crease, not anything crazy, not anything fun or exciting. Alright, so next we're going to pop into the face palette, and I'm going to go into this really pretty kind of golden shade down here, and I'm going to put this sort of in my crease in my outer corner just a little bit. So I'm going to pick that up with a Rephr 16 brush, and I forgot to tell you the first brush that I used with the Natasha Denona palette, that was a Rephr 15 brush. But I'm going to go ahead and pick up a little bit of that shade, and I am just going to kind of disperse it right here in my outer corner and kind of bring it up into the very outer portion of my crease as well, just giving a little bit more color. Now, I could have skipped the matte shade and gone straight into this, but I wanted to have a little something to kind of build this on top of. So I'm just going to kind of go with back and forth motions, kind of blending, twirling my brush, and I am going to bring this down onto my lower lash line as well, and I think I'm going to bring it pretty much all the way across, but kind of stop like right here at the very inner portion. So next I want to pop into the green single shadow, and I think I want to put this kind of in my inner corner and wrap it up onto my lid and down onto my lower lash line as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up with a Rephr 26 brush, and I am just going to very lightly start to pop it right here on my inner corner. That is very pretty, very pigmented. I'm going to kind of blend it up right here into the very inner portion of my crease and bring it down onto my lower lash line as well, connecting it up with that shade that I just put down from the face palette. That is very, very pretty. I need to zoom y'all in just a little bit. I apologize, but let me go ahead and do that. Alright, so I think that's better, and y'all can see what my eyes are looking like just a little bit better than you could before. But next we're going to go ahead and pop into this really pretty kind of lavender shimmer shade right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and pick this up with my finger, and I'm going to press this all over my lid. I did not prime with my NYX glitter primer per usual, just because I wanted to see what these are going to do on their own, and generally I don't feel like I need one with more luxury formulas. They don't really tend to crease on me or anything like that. And I don't ever feel like I need to kind of amp up the punchiness with the glitter primer, but you absolutely can go in with one if you feel like you need to. But That looks very pretty on the lid. It's just kind of soft, very spring feeling. I think I do want to add just a little bit of depth in my outer corner. I love that little bit of depth and I'm kind of itching for it. All right, so we're gonna pop back into my Natasha Denona palette and I'm just gonna go into this shade right here, which is called Medium. I'm gonna pick that up with a Rephr 13 brush and I'm just gonna add the tiniest little bit of depth right here in my very outer corner. So I don't want to do too much. I just feel like I need a little something out here. I don't like looks on me where everything is very light. It's a personal preference thing. You could skip this step. You could go a little bit deeper. You can just kind of play around with whatever you want to do, but this is what I am feeling. Yeah, I like that so much better with that little bit of depth out there. Moving on to our next product in this collection, we have the eyeliners. So these are the long-lasting eyeliners. These are supposed to be waterproof and budge-proof. They are $35 and there were 4 shades included in this collection. I picked up the purple one and the green one. Once again, are we surprised? No, but the other 2 shades that were included was kind of a red shade and the other one was going to be a warm tone brown, both of which I felt like I didn't need. I didn't need these either, but I wanted to try them out because I have very watery eyes and not every single formula that claims to be waterproof and budge proof actually holds up to my watery eyes. So I'm excited to test these out. But the first one that we have is going to be the purple one in Mauve Intense. And honestly, I am not the biggest fan of twist up eyeliners. Generally, I prefer ones that are sharpenable like a traditional pencil liner, but this did go on really nicely. It didn't feel super creamy where it's going to move around, but it also felt like it wasn't super stiff either, like it's going to drag across your lid. And I will say this component does feel a little bit on the hefty side. It feels a little bit weighty. It also includes a little liner in the end of it, but that is the purple shade. And then I also picked up the green shade as well, like I said, and that one is in the shade Very Lagon or Lagon. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I apologize. But that is the green shade right there. So that is like a true like grass green shade. It has a really pretty undertone to it, a nice little sheen. So I'm excited to try these out and see how they are going to wear on my lids. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with my lower waterline and I'm gonna go in with the green one in the shade Very Lagon. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pop it right here in my waterline. Normally I wouldn't do 2 colorful liners in one look, but I want to test both of these out and I want to have my eyes look symmetrical, so we're just kind of rolling with it. That went on really nice. It was very easy, nice and pigmented. I didn't have to spend a lot of time kind of putting it in there, so we'll see how it lasts. Obviously I can't let you know right now, but I will definitely keep y'all posted either in a pinned comment or a future speed reviews video. All right, so to line my lid, I'm gonna go in with the purple one in the shade Mauve Intense. And this is really hard to do while I'm talking, but I'm just going to very lightly kind of line my lid. I do feel like this is a little too stiff for my lid, like it's dragging just a little bit. It doesn't seem like it's going on nearly as smooth as some other eyeliners that I have, like the ones from Victoria Beckham. Those are so creamy, they glide on very easily, but they also dry down and they're budge proof, so once they're there, they're there. But I do feel like this could have just a little bit more emolliency to it for my lid, but it is what it is. It's still going on pretty nicely. It's not effortless, but it's also not the hardest thing to work with. All right, y'all, so this is our completed look. I just went ahead and finished it off with a little bit of my Il Makiage Black Card Mascara, but I like the way that it turned out. It is very soft, very on trend. I like the shades that are included, and I think it looks really pretty. But let's go ahead and move on because we do have one more product included in this collection to talk about, and that is going to be the Rouge Cocoa Balm Shine. So I picked up the shade Raspberry Kiss. There were 6 shades included in this collection. They do retail for $45 a piece. and I just decided to go with the one shade. I didn't need all 6 of them. They are a little bit on the pricier side, and it's a formula I've never used before. But let's go ahead and open this up. So I got this really pretty sort of magenta raspberry shade. I just thought it was really pretty, something a little different for me and different in my collection. Now these are not going to be super pigmented. They are going to have a little bit of a sheerness to them, but they're still going to be hydrating and smoothing on the lips. And right now, hydration is everything I want for my skin and my lips. It is so cold here. In fact, it is supposed to snow on Monday, y'all. Oh my gosh, it's gonna snow. So let's hope that our power grid here in Texas holds out. But what I was saying is it is cold and just everything feels extra dry, and hydration has been my best friend right now. But let's go ahead and put a little bit of this on. Ooh, that is so pretty. This is the kind of lip product that you can just kind of keep in your bag if you really need some extra hydration, but you want a little bit of like a pop of tint or color to it. The other ones were a little bit lighter. They were a little bit more neutral, maybe a little bit more sheer and things like that. But this is the one that just really kind of called my name and I had to have. Alright y'all, so this is the completed look using all of the products from the Chanel Spring Summer 2025 collection, and I really love the way my makeup turned out. It is soft, it is springy, but I feel absolutely beautiful, and that is the whole point. But let's go ahead and chat about the products that we used and give you my first initial impression thoughts. So up first we have the face palette, and I really enjoyed this. I think the color selection in here is beautiful. It is 100% a companion palette or a highlighter palette, so you may already have these shades in your collection, but I thought the formula was really nice. It is a really smooth baked formula. I thought they applied beautifully to the cheek. They definitely give more beam than what I was expecting they would, and they have this pretty wet effect to the cheek. So they're not going to be chunky, glittery, super powdery. They're not going to emphasize texture or anything like that. And even this shade right here, I thought it performed beautifully on the lid. I didn't have any issues with it kind of like flaking off or falling into my eye. I felt like it blended out beautifully, and it added this really pretty kind of sheen to the lid when I really just kind of fluffed it in there with that brush. So overall, I think this is really pretty. Like I said, I like the formula in here. Is this going to be for everybody? No. I would suggest if it's something that you're kind of unsure about, maybe swatching it before you make the purchase, maybe waiting for a sale or something like that, or just kind of shopping your stash and seeing if you have something very similar to this in your collection. But for me personally, I'm happy with it and I really enjoy it. Up next, we have the 2 single shadows, and I was really impressed with these, especially with the green one. It had a little bit more pigmentation than what I was expecting, but it went on really pretty. It has this really pretty glow to it, and I think it's just a nice little pop on my inner corner. This would be really pretty all over the lid as well, but I didn't get any fallout. Again, I didn't get any like sparkles going everywhere. It didn't get in my eye. It was very fuss-free, and it applied beautifully. As far as longevity goes, I will have to let you know about everything as I wear it throughout my day and continue to test these out, but I did really enjoy it, and I thought the purple one was beautiful as well. It's definitely a little bit more sheer on the lid than what I was expecting. It definitely has a little bit more of that topper-esque feel to it, but it applied beautifully with the finger. Again, no fallout. It didn't get in my eye. It didn't flake off or anything like that. It looks nice and smooth. It's not emphasizing texture, and it just has this really pretty, soft, sophisticated glow to it, and I really enjoy it. I like the 2 shades I picked up. Again, did I need either one of them? No, but I was curious about the formula, and I absolutely could not resist a green and a purple single shadow. The eyeliners. So I thought these were really nice. I enjoy the formula. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of twist up eyeliners. I do prefer a pencil liner, but as far as applying it in my waterline goes, I thought they applied effortlessly. At least the green shade did. I'm assuming that the purple one is probably going to apply the same way in my waterline, but it glided on really nicely. It was nice and pigmented. It's not budging. It's not transferring as of now. I have had these on for maybe 30 minutes at this point, but as far as wear time goes, I will have to keep you posted. I was not the biggest fan of applying it on my lid though, at least the purple shade. I don't know if the green is going to perform the same way. It does have a little bit more of a sheen to it, so that might add a little bit more emollients to it, but I found that the purple one kind of pulled and dragged a little bit on my lid, I was able to get a nice fine line and it was nice and pigmented, but it just took a little bit more work than what I'm used to compared to some other pencil liners that I have in my collection. Again, like the ones from Victoria Beckham Beauty, those are about the same price point. You get a little bit more product in there. They are sharpenable, and I feel like those are just a little bit easier to manipulate on the lid. So I don't think this is a bad formula, but this is one of those that I would buy shades with the intention of using them only in my waterline, if that makes sense. But you know, let me know if you have any of these and you've had a different experience. Maybe I need to warm it up on the back of my hand before I apply it on my lid, things like that. So I will 100% keep y'all posted on those. But I think my favorite product that I tried in this collection was definitely the Rouge Cocoa Balm. I really enjoyed the pigmentation of this. I like how hydrating and smoothing it feels on my lips. It doesn't feel sticky, it doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't have a fragrance to it or anything like that, and I really like the amount of pigmentation that it has. I think the color is absolutely beautiful. It definitely makes me interested in picking up more shades in the future. Maybe not right now, but if there's like another shade that kind of calls to me and something that's a little bit more unique to my collection, it is something I could see myself picking up because I just think this is absolutely beautiful on my lips. But that is going to complete this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm sure it was a little chaotic and all over the place because, like I said, I am still just absolutely exhausted, but I am so happy that I got to sit down, share this collection with y'all, and film this video and just kind of chit chat for a little bit. But let me know all of your thoughts down below. Let me know if you picked up anything from this collection. Let me know if you skipped out on it, if you're planning on it. I want to know it all. Let's have that conversation, light up that comment section. And as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure that you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every single week and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.